Well, welcome to the Complete Nonsense Podcast. I want to pre apologize for anything that we may say that may piss you off or offend you. If it does, please call in and let's talk about it. We want to hear your opinion. Our disclaimer is very simple. If you are super serious or looking for something educational, forget about it because it won't happen here. Let's begin. Okay, welcome back. We're doing this again. Just so everybody out in podcast land knows that this is like the third time that we've started this.
It's not true. It's all
It's
fact.
100% the third time. And I can barely, I still can barely hear myself. But now I'm so close to this mic, I can feel the fuzz on my.
Both
I see the fuzz on your lips.
So again, let's try this again. Staxx, yeah, click me up one.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Click me up just one. Just one click.
Just click them up one so we can get this done.
Why? You better settle the fuck down. You need to settle. You've been a little wild the last couple of days.
All right, click.
When you were shit faced on Saturday,
I wasn't
you were
wild.
Oh, you were totally wild.
We were all wild.
You were wild on Saturday.
Saturday
You were
was
yelling
not.
at me
Definitely
about
shit-faced.
I
the
wasn't
podcast.
yelling at you at
were
all.
telling me you now have rights to it. You were telling me that I'm,
did not.
I'm. Yeah, oh yeah. You went. I get every conversation that you and the Dees have had. Came out that night when you were waxed.
What was I doing?
You
I
were
didn't
just,
say
dude. You were
anything.
fucking retarded.
Oh,
We like
yeah.
I was saying I was
Riri.
funny.
Yeah, you are funny.
I know. That's
No, but
all
I said
I remember.
said,
I wasn't that
said,
drunk.
Oh, you were what?
Yeah,
You
oh,
said.
yeah.
I said.
You kept losing the game.
Oh,
you
it
kept
was
sucking it
so
down.
ridiculous.
Remember?
And then I said to her, I said, well, we have the number one pot. She goes, according to who? What the fuck? I said, no. And she's like, you think you're not the only one that's funny in the podcast? I was like, well, man, I was just fucking playing around. And all of a sudden, the angry Staxx came out.
I wasn't angry at all. We had a good time.
We had a great time.
We had a
but
great
you said,
time.
You said, according to who? That's what you
I was
yelled it
being
at me.
funny.
And that was fun. No, you sounded angry. You said literally, you didn't
wasn't
know anything.
angry.
You were staring at a
You-
bowl
you know
that was
me.
around 10
I was being
children.
funny.
You know me at this point well enough to know if I'm angry, I won't say anything about it.
True, but you
She'll go,
were
"Really?"
all the conversations that whatever
I would
whatever
never-
conversations come out, they were. You think you're the only one that's on that fucking podcast? Fine. No, I was like, well,
Good
we
job,
got the
Staxx.
number.
Good job.
No.
Yeah.
You just sitting there.
Hercules,
You
Hercules.
just sitting there, and then you turn to somebody and go, "I'm funny, am I not?"
I'm kind of.
Do you remember that? Do you
Maybe
remember
funny
that?
too.
So I get this phone call today. All right, I get a fucking phone call today. I'm gonna get right into
Oh,
a
you
phone
jumping
call.
right into it, huh?
Oh yeah. Because it was a great weekend. It was a very good weekend. Just so everybody knows, Staxx was one to make it very clear that I was not the funniest one on the podcast, which I think I'm in the
I
top
didn't
three.
say you were the funny.
Then. And then,
See, that was funny.
Yeah,
That was funny.
that's because I'm a funny guy.
Yeah.
And the Dees. Did we get a?
We did.
Okay. I saw the first time I saw it, 2 people voted.
Yeah, 2 people.
And was it you? Did you vote for yourself twice? You
What?
fucking did.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my
How
god.
Did
would I
you?
do that?
You did. He fucking did.
Did I?
Yeah.
What did come out?
Are you kidding? So what was the thing?
I don't
the
know.
D's? Well, we don't know. You got to tell us what was
So
the
it's
vote.
gonna be the D's.
I don't even
AKA
know what it
Big
was.
T. There you go.
So it's gonna be. We're just going
The
with the
D's
D's.
and the AKA Big
Yeah.
T. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Call me whatever you want.
Yeah, we'll go with. We're gonna go pretty much with the D's.
Okay. Big T.
You know, or T. I mean, T.
It doesn't
TD's
matter. You
good.
call me
TD's
both.
good.
Who cares?
Yeah, nobody. I mean, even if we
You-
say TD
you
or
get to
T,
know me.
nobody knows anything. But we say
we
I'm
know.
okay with the D's. So I get this phone call today.
Phone call.
Yeah.
Ring, ring.
Let me preference this.
Ring,
with, I'm
ring.
gonna take a breath because it was one of them
Ring, ring.
days. It's one of the fucking
You
days. I
have
fought with everybody.
one
Fought with
message.
everybody that could fight me fought with me. Even a guy who's my friend doing tile at my house decided to fucking fight with me
Oh, I gotta
about
hear
his
that story.
price.
I gotta hear that story.
All right.
Start with that.
So I'm gonna start with this phone call. So I get this phone call.
Ring,
Hello.
ring.
I was like, oh hi. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Oh, she called.
You know, the kids moved out. I told you on Saturday. I said, oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah.
That's right. She says, I said, well, Aim, I'm going to find you a lawn service. I said, I might try and help you if I can. I not might try, but what I was planning on doing was, as I explained to you, that I was going, she'd asked me last week, I don't know if he filled you in between your negotiations of how you now own half the rights to complete nonsense.
Yeah.
So what happened was, so she
she says, she had called me last week and said, look, kids are moving out and and this is a 92-year-old woman that lives next door to Staxx.
Yeah.
Just to catch everybody up because nobody knows who we're talking about, right? So this 92-year-old woman, she had her grandkids living there and they were just like, they were nice kids. They had an opossum, they had a dog, they came to a party for 5 minutes.
They had a possum?
They had an opossum, yeah. They had an opossum.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a big old thing anyway. So they moved out, right? Well, they came to the party. We hung out for about 3.5 minutes, and they left, right? So, because we'll never disparage anybody on this podcast.
Wait a minute. You're talking about a possum, not a raccoon. A possum?
Possum, straight
Who
up possum.
the fuck has a possum?
Yeah,
as
it
a
fell
pet?
out. It
What?
fell out. It fell out of a tree.
Okay.
And she raised it since it was a child.
Those
Oh,
things
that's
are
very sweet.
Those things are fucking disgusting. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
they're wired hair. They're not
Yeah.
fluffy. They're not
When
pretty.
you pet it, it goes. It's all fucking like grangy.
But this one was very well domesticated. I met it.
You met it?
I met it. 100%. I met it with the kid. Both the kids. They were there, and she had it in her lap, and she brought it out, and she pet this thing.
They're nasty looking, man.
Yeah, they're not cute.
No, at all.
And the fur wasn't. It's not soft or fluffy or anything. It's kind of disgusting. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like he's just not a cute pet.
All right. I didn't mean to interrupt your story. Just
No,
switch
no,
it. I
no,
was kinda
hey,
like,
right,
well,
I'm
I thought it was
with
a
you.
raccoon. I've seen raccoons.
Yeah, but
I
who
haven't
would
seen
want a
possum.
raccoon either? Nobody wants that fucking pet.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So I get this call, and she says, the kids moved out, and I said, well, Aim, I'm gonna help you with your lawn situation. I can use her name because she's 95 and she definitely doesn't listen to our podcast. Right?
Right.
We use no last names. So she says to me, hey, I have a question for you. And I said, oh, yeah, what do you got, Aim? What do you got, Aim? You all right? You all right? Everybody, you're upright? Because last time she wasn't upright, I helped her pick her up. And, I take care of her. Right now, the grandkids were there, and they helped her out. Can you ask your landscaping buddy next door to you if he'll come on over? And I said, sure, Aim. I said, yeah, we don't use
Max.
Right, Max.
We'll call him Max.
Yeah. So she says, yeah, I want to get some landscaping done. I said, oh, nice. That'll be real nice. You want to do the front? She goes, no, could you have him take down that tree between Because in podcast land, let me explain that Staxx has this enormous bush that when the dog dies, now we're not talking the bush that we saw when we were scuba diving. We're talking about the bush that's on her property. There's a fence between
I trimmed
the
those.
Dees and there's a fence between the Dees and Amy's house,
yeah.
and it's your fence, I'm assuming. And I said, sure, I could have him come over. I said, she's like, would you come with him? So I said, yeah. I said, sure. I mean, it'll be a little awkward that I'm walking over with my neighbor for your neighbor's tree. But if that's what you need me to do.
That's an angry bush.
I said, do you want to cut? I'm assuming you want to cut half the tree off because you can't really cut their fence down. Well, how can we get the tree out of the fence? I'm
there's
We
no-
we would love to.
Yeah, but it won't.
honestly,
Yeah.
It'll take the fence out.
it'll take the fence. At this point, it'll take the fence out. The
But
fence
that
is
bush is an angry bush.
Yeah.
it is.
this. So,
It's the one that has those really long needles.
Sure. So
Yeah.
they're called thorns.
Whatever.
So
Whatever.
just so we're clear. So that was the conversation that I had. So I said, I will bring them. I'll bring them over, and he can talk to you about your landscaping needs and
Max.
taking down your neighbor's tree and their fence and whatever else. I said, was there anything else you need in their yard done?
I can't wait to have the talk with Max.
She said, yeah. So expect that in the next couple of days
I'm
because
ready.
I'll talk to him and I'll say now that you guys know about it. Right?
Yeah.
So that was my first phone call. Okay, here's my second phone call. So I get this. I'm doing this fucking rehab at this house, right? Guy calls me up and he says, I said, look, I've been asking for 3 days.
Right.
Doing backsplash tile. 3 days I've been asking for this thing.
Yep.
How much? How much we want? How much we doing? So I fired this other guy because the guy that I knew, all right, we'll call him Thor, he just came back to reality. Right, he was out of commission for a little while, and I didn't know this. Right, I just happened upon him, and I'm like, "Hey, by the way, do you still do tile?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, I got you, bud." And I said, "Great, fantastic." I brought him down to the Edgewood house to do the bathroom. It ended up costing me 3 times as much as it was for the first one. So now I'm committed, right? Now I'm committed because the first guy was like, "I'll do $900," and the people I know ended up costing me $4,000, right? So yeah, that hurt a little bit.
4,000?
Pretty much close to 36. 600 or something.
Oh my god.
But came out beautiful. Don't get me wrong, came out beautiful.
For $4,000 a shit.
Yeah, it came out beautiful, man.
Okay.
So I do this backsplash. Now I'm doing this backsplash, and I'm like, comes out beautiful. CC buys the tile, the whole 9 yards, right? So for the last 3 days, I've been saying, hey, how much? How much? Like I knew how I was so shocked down in Edgewater. How are we doing up here? What am I doing? Like, how big's this dice gonna be? And we're hanging out, we're smoking, we're getting high,
Right.
we're doing all the things.
A couple of I gotcha.
Yeah, a lot of hey, dude,
I
like,
gotcha.
like I'm in Bill and Ted's Excellent Fucking Adventure at 42,
all good,
52.
man.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All good. We got you.
Yeah.
Right? So it's done. Okay. It's all done. I'm like, okay, great. Now what do we got? Now all of a sudden I get a thing that says, should have been, would have been $1,300. I said, okay. All right. But so then there's another line. Only 830. Right?
Did he buy the tile or did you?
I bought the tile. So I bought the tile down there too.
Your
That's why I
kitchen
say-
isn't that large.
No.
It's $800 and something worth.
Oh wait, it gets better. Right? And again, I love Thor. I do. I love him. And I'm assuming it's because he's getting back up out into the world, right? I'm assuming. I'm hoping for the love of God, right?
Drop a hammer for sure.
Yeah. So then there was some debt owed to me. Right, so this debt was coming off of this, so it ended up being like $450. But in essence, I still paid that debt. So now I'm like, wait a minute, I asked 5 times, and all of a sudden there were add-ons. There were fucking add-ons.
That's a good way. Thor's a smart guy. That's a good way to get that money down real fast.
And again, I'm not. He did absolutely beautiful work 3 days.
No, he did.
Beautiful work, 3 days. Now the guy who was originally going to do it was 500. Okay, so this came out to 800. Let's put aside the would have been 1,300. Like I was going to Macy's.
Right.
There's a fucking sign at
Right.
Macy's. Like this should have been. Well, it wouldn't have ever have been because I know you, motherfucker. Let's get that shit straight.
There goes my dream of asking Thor to come and redo ours.
Yeah, let's ask Loki.
He's
Let's ask Loki.
he's worth the work.
No, he's not worth that money.
The Dees don't have that much money. Are you kidding me?
Well, think about it.
What?
So it came out to $400. Came out to $450. But the point of it is that you had to be surprised by it all. Like
I don't like that at all.
So this is what
At
I
all.
said. I said, okay, we have another project to do down in Edgewater, another backsplash, right? And I said, look, we're not gonna play the surprise game. The surprise game's over. Right? I'm gonna say I need to know exactly what it is, and you know how he is, right? He's like, oh yeah, dude, man,
got
don't
you.
worry, take $150, take $1.5 off.
Right.
I said, I'm not doing that. I'm not playing. I'm not as big of a cheap motherfucker as I am. I'm not doing that, world. I'm not gonna. I wasn't calling you to tell you that I'm disappointed in your price. You did a beautiful work. I know it's worth it. In my opinion, it was worth $8. It was 3 days of work doing the window. I mean, you wrapped the window.
he did
I don't know if you saw the window, but that was an add-on, right? Which again, I would have liked to just known the
The
add-on.
shock factor is what got you.
Correct.
Right.
Just kind of laying out. So yeah, I got you, bro. I said, he's like, well, if I remember, I said, no, don't pretend. Go down there, check it out again. Go with a clear head. Don't party or don't have a beer. Don't do whatever it is you do out in the world. Go down there with a clear head in the morning with a cup of coffee and tell me exactly what I need and how much this is going to be.
You have to
got
come back
you,
and
bro.
tell us what the price is.
Oh, I will. Right. So I hang up with him. I got extra flooring tiles down there. 2 boxes, right? Now bear in mind, 2 weeks ago, they were doing the floor. And the guy calls me and says, oh man, now this guy, I love this guy, but he was straight up fucking Lenny at Mice and Men. Oh no, that's how he talked. He was the installer. Yo, dude, I think you should go down there and tell them that they didn't give you no tile.
It's a cute puppy.
I'm like, what?
Puppy over there.
Yeah. I'm like, fucking what, Forrest? Forrest Gump. What are you telling? What are you saying, Forrest Gump? I tell you, gotta tell them you gave me and give you enough time. You gotta give them more time.
My mama like tile.
I'm telling you. And I love the guy. I love the guy. He did another one, fantastic work.
Right.
Everything was perfect. The toilet was in. It was all caulked in. Everything was perfect about it. But getting to that point was the challenge, right? So he does one half the floor, and then he comes back and he's got the other half. He's missing a room of tile. So I gotta call the guy to get the tile, right? Now when I yelp the shit out of these people, I'm gonna fucking yelp the shit out of you. I'm gonna hire a homeless guy. And you think I'm kidding.
Yeah.
For the next 2 months, I'm gonna hire I'm not paying a producer anymore. We are not paying a producer anymore. The money I'm gonna hire a homeless guy for $10 a day to stand there with a fucking sign that says "Do not buy here."
I'm the producer.
Do not buy here. So
I'm the
Where did you
producer.
get it?
you are from Edgewater Floor and Tile.
Oh.
Okay. So this guy,
Right.
now there's two separate entities to this motherfucker. So this guy, the one guy, now again, they're all real nice when you're in there. I'm into them almost $10,000. $7,200. Let me be exact. $7,200. They did cabinets, they did floor, right? So the first problem was the cabinets. I go in there, the cabinets, they're 36 inches, which means there's a big gap from the top of the cabinet to the ceiling. I said, you don't talk to my 8-year-old mother. Let me handle it. And I laughed, and he talked to my 8-year-old mother. So when the guy put the cabinets up, I said, take the cabinets down. Take them down immediately. The guy who put the cabinets was like, are you fucking serious? I said, he's like, I just finished. He wasn't even done wiping his brow. I said, take them down. I said, it's not going to work. I don't know if you guys have seen this. So now I go to this guy. He's like, well, that's what your mother ordered. And I said, the motherfucker, I told you not to talk to my mother. Don't talk to my mother about it. We're the ones handling this for them. We're doing this. We all have the money. We're all. Yeah, I said,
that's rough.
Yeah, I said, okay, so I take cabinets out. I order 42 inches. Now the 42 inches, the down cabinets, the ones on the ground come up. The ones on the ceiling aren't in for he says 2 weeks. So this motherfucker wants to play me. So now he's like, it's still not in, but you owe me an extra $1,200. I'll try and sell your other cabinets to 36. I'll try and sell them to you. I'll get you $800 back. Now, this is a guy about 4.5 foot tall. He's about 4.5 foot tall. You walk into the Edgewater Floor and Tile, and I hope they all hear it. It just stinks like a fucking pot plant. It's like the guys are just hammered all fucking day. And one day I was having a conversation, arguing about these tiles, and he brings me out a bodyguard. I said, who the fuck is this guy?
Oh, God.
I literally looked over, I said, who the fuck is this guy? What are we doing here? I'm thinking to myself, okay, now I'm going to be calling Staxx in a couple of days because motherfucker, somebody's going down, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, and I even said to him, who the fuck is this guy? He's like, well, that's why he's our installer. I said, well, why the fuck is he standing behind me? I'm talking to a guy who's about 4.5 foot tall.
Right.
And he's one of those guys, hey, I'm just trying to fucking help you out here. I'm trying to be my best friend, right?
Right.
So anyway, now I got these, I need the uppers, right? He goes in. Now the floor guy. The other side of this company is the floor guy. So I go into the floor guy. Now the guy said, okay, I'm going to pay for this thing. And all of a sudden, it must have been a Friday. They must have lost a bet. They called my mother, my father, my sister. They called everybody, where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the fucking money? Where's the money? I said, whoa, I'll get to you, man. I was running around. I was like, I told you I was going to pay for it so we can get it installed the next day, He's like, well, we need the money. We need the money. We need the money. I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay. So I paid these guys, right? Paying the $4,000 for the flooring, right? Just the boards. And the guy goes pick it up. Hey, I got your floorboard. We're going to put them in on Friday. And I was like, oh, yeah. Nice to see you, Axel. We'll call him Axel. I said, yeah,
He
nice.
doesn't sound like an Axel.
No. I'm telling you, Forrest fucking Gump,
Yeah.
Forrest Gump, that didn't fully develop.
Call him
So,
Larry.
but again, does great work. So he's like, I can't finish the floor. I ain't got enough floor tile. Go in there and give him help. So I called the guy up. I said, what the fuck? You didn't give me, it's the same company, just a different side, right? So this guy is, I'm not even going to say his name because I'm going to give him any fucking credit, right? I know he's got some family shit going on, blah, 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 blah. I hope everything works out. We don't want anybody to die, right? Wink. So he turns around and he says to me, I say, hey, Bo, we need more flooring tile. We need the flooring tile. Well, you didn't order it. You didn't order it. You ordered it. We called you on Friday. You didn't order it till Monday. I said, what the fuck does that have to do? What does
that mean?
I didn't pay you on right. What does that mean? I pay you on Friday, so now I'm fucking getting in trouble because I paid you on Monday, so you ordered less.
I'm holding your job ransom until I get. That makes.
No.
And did they
wasn't- no.
measure for you?
They measured.
So they knew what you needed.
They knew what I needed. But apparently, if you pay them on a Friday, you don't get enough. On Monday, you get enough.
No.
Yeah, on Friday I paid him. I didn't pay him on Friday when he called my mother, my sister,
Right.
my mother. He called my grandmother. My grandmother's been dead for 15 years. Okay? He literally used the fucking phone number that my grandmother. The phone, there's a message on the phone that's in that house that nobody has a landline anymore. There was a message from them. They had my fucking cell phone number. And they called my dead grandmother's phone and said, oh, we want to get the paid for the fucking floor on Friday. And I paid him on Monday. So if you pay on Monday, you don't get all your floor. So I don't know. You got to go back the next day. So I called him. I said, okay. Now I said, well, get me the fucking floor, guy. Okay. Well, you didn't pay him. I said, well, I don't even know what that means. I said, guy, I don't even know what that means. I didn't pay you on Friday, so you didn't give me a floor. We're gonna step away from that. Just bring me the fucking floor. Gets the floor next day. Now it's Tuesday. Right? Now he brings me fucking 20 boxes of floor. I only need 4.
Was he trying to charge you extra?
I don't know. I don't even know.
Oh,
no,
that's
it was
coming.
already paid. It was
That's-
already paid.
that's
No,
coming.
it was already paid. So I called him today, right? And I said, hey, I got fucking 10 extra boxes of floor. I'm going to return them. He goes, it was special order. I said, special fucking order.
Because you ordered it on Monday, not Friday.
I said,
Don't tell anybody.
I'm in the store again. I remind you after this phone call, right? No? Who do you think fucking comes out? The security guard again. Now he's on the side of the floor, guys. This fucking guy again. I said, this is a fucking joke. Like, I felt like I was at a Taylor Swift concert, and they were trying to stop me from meeting Taylor Swift. I'm like, this is a fucking joke. I said, this guy got to go away. Whatever this guy is, he got to go away. I'm tired of looking at this motherfucker, right? So he's like, yeah, we can't. That was special order. I said, bud, it was sitting next to you. It was fucking next to here's the register, right? And here it is, a pile of it. And he's like, yeah, we can't use that one because that's for somebody else. I said, okay, well, just give me a couple of boards so we can do this, so we can finish it. He's like, yeah, it's not good. I said, okay. I said, all right, bud, I'm done with your bullshit, and put your fucking security guard away. I said, give me the owner. All right, well, the owner doesn't really talk to people. Well, what do you mean doesn't talk to people? What the fuck does that mean?
Is he a mute?
Yeah. I said, I'll find out who he is. Oh, you will? I said, yeah, it's not that hard to find out. I'll call one of my people. They'll fucking help me out. I'll
Did he
find out.
order extra for to save for another job?
I
That's what it
have
sounds
no
like.
idea.
That's
No,
what it sounds
no.
like.
Oh, so wait, it gets better.
Special
So now the guy who I just fought, the little guy, the cabinet guy, calls me. I said, why the fuck are you calling me? He's like, well, the other guy told me that, you wanted to talk to the owner. I said, are you the owner? He goes, no, but the owner doesn't talk to anybody. I said, how's the owner not talk to anybody? I said, it's a little shit store in Edgewater. How the fuck is the owner never there? I said, I'll find the owner. Don't worry. He said, what do you mean to find the owner? I said, well, maybe that big security guard won't be there with him. I'll fucking go talk to the owner and not have to worry about the big security guard. He goes, well, we can take a couple of boxes back, but we can't take them all. So now I'm getting closer to the thing, right? But he tells me, he goes, let's talk about that cabinet because, I have your cabinet in there. I'm going to try and sell you a cabinet. I said, oh, yeah. I said, I'm going to try and sell my cabinet. I said, I've practically threatened your entire fucking organization. You're going to take care of me and all of a sudden you're going to try and sell my fucking cabinets, right?
Right.
All right. You guys are just so absolutely ridiculous. And I'm not going to tell them I'm going to yelp the fuck at them. But when I get it all done, all the knobs are up, everything's in place. I'm telling you, I'm going to fucking hire a homeless guy to stand there for $10 a day with a sign that says, do not buy.
You should have CC do the Yelp review just because she's so good with
She's
her
good at
Uber.
She'll tear him up.
Everybody loves that Uber letter.
Yeah.
People still talking about that.
You should have CC do it.
Yeah.
So wait, let's keep going with my day. Okay. So then the plumber. All right. So you all know I've been through 3 plumbers, right? I've had 3 physical plumbers come to this building, right? One guy said, I'm going to do $2,000 for you. I said, you the owner of the company? He said, yeah. I said, how long you been doing this? He goes, 40 years. I said, okay, I showed you the job. What do you think? Off the top of your head, how much you think it's worth? He says, what are you looking for? And I said, I want to pay about $2,000, $2,200. Now I want to be there. He says, I can get you there. I said, okay, great. All right. And I said, great. Don't even write me an invoice. Just come tomorrow. Start this job. No problem, buddy. No problem. Okay. Next day, he's not there. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I look at my email, there's an estimate, and the estimate says 0. And I'm like, this is fantastic, 0, So I call him up as a joke. Hey, thanks, I love 0. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I said, I got the estimate, and it said 0. She goes, oh, no, you gotta open the invoice. I said, oh, there's an invoice? Okay. And she goes, yeah, you see attachment? I said, oh, no, attachment didn't come through. She goes, hold on a minute. Here it comes. $4,700.
Oh, jeez.
$4,700.
She must have rounded up.
Wait, I'm not. Wait, I'm not done. I said, where the fuck is the guy? Who is the guy who came to the house who told me he's the owner? He's on his boat. I said, oh, now I get it. Now, who says that? Who tells somebody that they're on their boat?
Right.
I said, oh, now I get it. Okay. I said, when he comes off his boat, I hope he's not sunburned. Too bad. But have him give me a call. So the guy calls me up. Oh, yeah. Sorry, man. It wasn't what I thought it could be. No problem. right? I say, now I'm going to call another guy. Done with him. We're done. The conversation's over. I can make it better. How much can you make it better? I said, can you do $2,000 better? He goes, I can knock $300 off. Comes to another 4,700, went to 43. Oh, okay, go fuck off, right?
Right.
Now I get another guy. I'll be there Tuesday. All right, no problem. I'll be there. All right, no problem. I'll see you Tuesday. Doesn't come. Tuesday doesn't come. I text him. Hey, what are we doing? I had a kid thing. I won't be there till Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday. I guarantee I'm going to be there Wednesday. Okay, no problem. And I haven't met this guy. Never even laid eyes on this guy. He says, "Yeah, my kid fell out of the car or something. He made a left and the kid fell out of the car or some shit. Right? He couldn't be there, so he's like, I'll be there Friday. I swear I'll be there Friday. Never shows up. Okay. Now I move on from this guy. Now I get the plumber.
Maybe he was at the flooring place paying for someone's order.
Did you get? Even that guy says, guess what? I got all your floor in. I was like, you fucking gotta be kidding me. By the time you tell me the floor is here, you could have finished it. So now I got a plumber who comes. He's like, done. I got you. No problem. This guy says, the owner again. Owner comes to the company. Comes in. He looks at all. He goes, I'm going to send you the youngest, fastest guy you could ever have. He says, I'm going to get this thing done for you in a day. You know, and everything that could be done, he's going to get for me done in a day. They send me a 57-year-old man who's about 380 pounds at 5'6" at best.
Wow.
Now, I'm not knocking diabetes. Sweating profusely because I offered him a cookie. And he said he can't do cookies because he will get sick. I would not allow this man to go into the sink because I was afraid his elbow was going to go through my fucking new cabinet. You know, they got to get under the sink to plumb out the sink.
Like the boulder of Indiana Jones.
Oh, good. It gets better. So he said to the guy, I was there for this plumber, right? And I'm like, bud, you kind of got to, you got to move it along. We got a lot of things to do. He's like, oh, I'm paid hourly. He's like, I heard you're an eye doctor, so you can afford me. I said, it don't fucking matter what I do for a living. Are you fucking serious, right? This is a God's honest conversation with a man who's sweating, okay, and drinking sugar-free iced tea.
And the youngest one on their fleet of workers.
Youngest one on the fleet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he says to me, he says he's putting the valves in for a shower, right? The shower's open, so he's putting the valves in, where you turn it on and off. So he says, hey, can you go outside and turn the water on? Because, you shut the water off to the house. And I'm like, bud, I'm not going to be able to hear you. Just so we're clear, you better scream with everything you have if. So he's like, no, we'll be all right. He's like, yeah, I got you. I said, okay. So I go out there and I slowly turn on. And I'm talking slow. You know how slow it took us to get these mics going today? That's how slow it was, right?
Very slow.
One click at a time,
Yeah.
Dees, one click at a time. So I said to him, it's all quiet. I'm like, oh, nice. And all of a sudden I hear, the fucking help me, motherfucker! Help! Shut up! Right? Because he ran out of the bathroom that was 3 doors away from where I was. Right? 2 solid concrete walls, a wall of concrete, and two sheetrock walls. Right? 2 bedrooms away. This guy I come out. He's fucking covered in the water. The guy took a shower. He forgot to crimp and tighten the valves that he put together, and the entire shower sprayed the entire fucking room, and he's dripping wet. He's like,
Was the tile done at this point?
no. This is all
So the
open.
drywall's wet?
Everything was wet.
Oh, no.
I said, bud, I told you I wasn't gonna be able to hear you. He's like, I know. You got a towel? I said, I don't have a towel. There's nothing in there.
Not big enough.
It's just me.
So this
No,
is
it's
where,
not me.
no, it wasn't me. No,
no,
this
seriously.
is unbelievable. So then this guy tells me, right now we're past the shower and all that stuff, right? And then he tells me that again, I've heard 20 times now that he's still hourly, right? He's been there 3 hours at this point. Please bear in mind that. So he turns around and he calls his boss and he goes, yeah, I'm about done. I've got about 45 minutes to get the tools out. And he goes to me, yeah, I got to get it on the half hour because, I can't do 15 minutes. They only pay you. I said, what the fuck are you telling me? So I gathered all his tools in one shot. And he had one of those plumbing trucks with the back of it where everything in the back of the truck was just everywhere.
Yeah.
There was no rhyme or reason to it. I threw all of his shit into the back of the thing. He's trying to chase me as I'm going out the front door. This almost, when I kid you not, I'm not telling you, I'm not coloring the story at all. He is trying to get me, but he's slippery. So his fingers are not connecting with my shoulder. I feel him trying to stop me as I'm going out this door. I have it all in my hands. I had a toolbox under my thing. I had pipe. I had wrenches. I picked up everything that was in that bathroom, and I was like, whoosh, into the package truck, and it just went fucking everywhere. Kadoosh, doosh. I mean, the shit was rolling. And he's like, what the fuck? And I said, what do you mean, what the fuck? This conversation, we're done. I was like, dude, I can't be clear. We're fucking done. And he's calling. Now he's in the driveway. And he's like, I've got to be here tomorrow. I said, I'm going to give you 1 hour because he had one thing left to do the next day. I said, I'm going to give you 1 hour to get there and do it. I get there next morning. I fly there next morning, 8 o'clock, right? I was there by like 8:30, and he's like, I got here at 6:30. I said, your fucking fat ass didn't get up at 6:30 at all. Am I allowed to say fat ass?
No.
I just did. I said, you're fucking lying. Your fat ass did not get up at 5:30 and come in. He's like, and I said, how long did you tell me it took? He says, it took me 2 hours. I said, it didn't take you 2 hours to do a fucking shower pan. Yeah. So the moral of the story, I didn't pay him. So now they've been lighting me up every day and not get paid. I'm like, look, give me your owner. They're like, our owner's never around. I'm like, does any fucking owner work here? Does any owner, is there an owner in one of these companies that will actually be part of what the fuck is going on? No. So yeah, this guy is just like, well, I'm not coming back. I said, oh, you're not? You're not going? Because this shit.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. We don't want you.
Oh, it was unbelievable. That was just the plumbers. That was the tile guy. That was the sheetrock guy. The sheetrock guy was supposed to do a wall. Okay, now this is ridiculous. The guy's supposed to take down a wall. Okay, charges me $6,000 to take down a ceiling and a wall, and it ends up that he doesn't take down the wall. Right, patches it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm assuming this is gonna be $1,000 off because you told me it was pretty much $1,000 wall. He goes, oh no, the sheetrock's only $11. I said, motherfucker, you charged me $5 for the ceiling. I said you charged me $989 because it's $11 for one piece of sheetrock that you didn't put up. I said, are you fucking out of your mind? Didn't pay that motherfucker.
Yeah,
I paid them, but I'm not paying them what they all want.
They obviously don't know they're telling themselves.
Oh,
by talking.
My interpretation of Florida life in terms of jobs is nobody wants to work here,
dude. It's the same thing that happened with us when we bought a washer and dryer.
Oh, I remember.
I was like, okay, we were trying to get this washer and dryer, and I was like, all right, so you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. And they're like, oh, we do it all. We get it all to you, and we do this. And Staxx is like, yeah, get a new washer and dryer. I'm like, you got a new washer and dryer. So I show up, and these guys, I'm waiting, just pacing back and forth, like, okay, they're coming. They show up, and the guy's in there. And he's standing there looking at the wall. And I go in, I go, what's up, bud? And he goes, ticka, 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 ticka. And I said, what? I said, what was that? He says, yeah, ticka, 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 ticka. And I said, I don't know. Is there somebody who speaks English? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. So he doesn't speak English, and he keeps pointing at this part that was included in what we're buying. Oh, yeah. So now I'm calling the place. I'm not gonna say the place, but I'm calling the place like a madman. I got to go through it like you, 8 different people, and they're always out to lunch. Oh, I can't. So I'm like, okay. So he's telling me about this part, and I go out there. I'm back and forth and walking back and forth, and I'm like losing my mind. And you were there. You were outside. You were was. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, after an hour, I say an hour,
at least,
the dude out of nowhere who's right beside him goes, do you need help? I was like,
2 hours ago I did.
I was like, yeah. You speak English? He's like, yeah. You've been watching me the whole fucking time.
The whole time.
So yeah, and then not to mention they put it in, it was broken, and we had to end the
It was a whole
thing.
nightmare.
Yeah, it was just a nightmare.
But that's okay. You know why? Because you have a working washer and dryer now.
Well, because we changed it up and went somewhere else.
Let's fast forward.
Crazy.
Let's fast forward to yesterday. Okay, let's go to yesterday for a quick second with me. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, I get a phone call. Okay, phone call, and it says we're gonna okay, whatever that is, I'm in. Right, whatever it is like option. You want A or B? Yep. B. I'll take B. I don't know B's. I'll take B. Right. So I get this phone call. Okay, I don't even know who it was. It was a 407 number.
Yep.
I get it. I say okay, no problem. Good. I'm assuming they're coming. Right? They're delivering a washer and dryer for the third, a refrigerator and a stove for the third time. The first time it was there was no floors. I chased it away. Told you that. Second time they came, they brought the microwave and everything else. And I said, I don't need the refrigerator. And the guy's like, I said, hey man, I'm gonna try to be disrespectful anyway, shape, form. I don't understand what the fuck you're saying, and you gotta take it away.
No bueno.
So that's 4 o'clock in the morning. No problem. They call me now. The person who does the dispatch calls, right? And they're like, "Hello, Mr. Kellerman. They're coming today between 8 and now it's normal, like it's a 7:30 call, right? They're coming between 8 and 11." And I said, "Oh, that's fantastic. I'll be there between 8 and 11. Great, I'll come down there." So I get down there and I'm walking around. I'm waiting. So I'm like, "All right, I'm giving the bed down at 11 o'clock."
Right.
Now it's 11:15. It was a benefit because everybody that was in this house rehabbing, nobody took their garbage. Like there was fucking garbage piled up to the ceiling. So I was happy. I was in there. I was sweeping. I was breaking down dishwasher boxes. Also. So anyway. So all of a sudden, I'm like, I get a call. I call them and I say, look, man, the guy's not here. Oh yeah, well they said 3:30 and 6. I said, no, they didn't say 3:30 and 6. I said they said 8:30 and 11.
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll try and fix that. Well, we can't fix it, so they're gonna be there. So now I'm at a bar. Mind you, I'm at a bar. Okay.
Right.
I'm at a bar. I'm having a cocktail. I'm getting all my shit done. Right. I'm running around. I get my beer done. And all of a sudden I get a click. And the only thing this fucking guy could say to me was no and Lowe's. That's all he could. It's the only 2 words he said. I said,
Sounds
sir,
familiar.
I'm not there. He goes, no. I said, but sir, I gotta, no. And he's like, I said, but wait. Lowe's. So I'm assuming he was telling me he's going to bring it back to Lowe's. So I'm like, no. So my friends and I'm sitting there, they're like, why don't you use Google Translator? So I write out this whole fucking speech on Google Translator. I literally write out a whole speech, and I can show you the speech, and it had no hola. It started out hola, right? And it said the code in the house. It said what I needed, the ice maker. Bear in mind, I was getting a refrigerator and a stove, right? The refrigerator is coming with an ice maker that you have to buy separately, right? It was like my tile guy. This is all separate. So I need an ice maker, and I bought a stove, right? So I get to the house at 8 o'clock at night, and there's a refrigerator there, no ice maker. Okay, no problem. There's no cords. Like it's not plugged in.
You thought it was like an ice maker separate to the machine. You thought it was like
No. I knew
Like they didn't plug in the fridge.
they didn't plug in the fridge, and there was no stove cord. There was no cord to plug the stove in.
Right.
Is that separate? I think that's separate anyway.
I bought it.
No.
I bought it all. I bought it all.
That's the nonsense right
Yeah,
there.
but I bought it all.
Right.
So I call them, and the woman says to me, "You returned it." I said, "How did I return something that I never fucking received?" I said, "How do you expect me to? How am I making toast tonight? How am I using a stove without a fucking cord? Who's buying a stove?
First of
without
all,
a
you
cord?
make toast on a stove.
Yeah, you don't.
How do you make your toast?
You put it on in the little thing. You put the little top on, and it turn it over real quick,
You put
like
it in a
bacon. Yeah, well, if you're gonna use a toaster, but yeah, we make you don't make bacon in the oven.
I make our bacon in the oven.
Okay,
yes.
so yeah, it's the same kind of thing. If you got that going, you throw a couple of pieces of bread in there, toast it up real nice. You know what I'm saying? Because the toaster's always off. Toaster, you go a little too far to the dial, you bring it down a little bit. It's never right.
They have them where you push a button and it does it.
I don't care if you push a button or pull a lever.
Yeah, just-
Are you telling me your toaster makes perfect toast every
Perfect
single
toast.
time? Yeah, not my
Perfect
toaster. It's probably a Lowe's toaster that I have. So I call him and I'm literally telling her.
Probably.
I'm literally telling her. She's arguing with me that I bought the cord and I returned the cord for the stove, but I wanted the stove. So I said, "How in the fuck am I working the stove without the cord? Can somebody please give me that?" She's like, "Oh, you might have a point. I might have a point." I'm like, "Are you fucking out of your mind?" So as I leave last night, as you probably all saw, I was out and about. I did this thing. So I go to a rage room in Daytona. Right? Did you hear about the rage room?
I mean, I know what they are.
Oh,
I didn't know
yeah.
there was one here.
It's $30. So I said, "Hey,
You
little
went by
girl."
yourself?
I went with my daughter. I said, "Hey, do you want to go rage with me?" She's like, "I'd love to rage, Dad." I said, "We're in."
You all
So
went raged yesterday.
We raged yesterday. I busted up so much shit in this room. They give you like a bucket of dishes and cups and saucers. and stuff.
We got to do that.
Yeah,
No,
that'd be
and
fun.
I told them because we were talking about last week, and your daughter had said, "Hey, can I get there?" And I said, "Well, when we looked it up, it has to have a parent. I can't bring her in because it's there's glass." And all
Right.
that
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
So I said, "Well, we'll talk to your parents." I said, "We'll go check it out. And we'll talk to your parents, and we'll."
Oh,
give
I
you
would
the-"
love to go rage.
Oh, you got it.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sledgehammers. I had a car roof.
Yeah.
I had a the hood. We had 2 TVs, a monitor, a whole. This guy was so cool. He gave us like extra glasses and cups. We were putting them on tees. We were hitting them with. I was throwing them up in the air, and she smashed. So all I could think of was the guy at Lowe's, the guy at the plumber guy, the cabinet guy, and the floor guy. Right. All I could think about was everybody was wronging me this week. I was smashing the shit out of everything, and my little kid's like, "This is fucking fantastic, Dad."
This motherfucker.
Oh, man. And he's like, "You guys just have at it." You get a helmet, you get gloves, you get like literally a basket full of everything you could ever imagine.
Oh, man.
And then he's just
I've
like,
seen
he's
them
like, "Go
before.
for
I
it."
just didn't know they were local.
Where's that located?
It's right up on Ridgewood, right here, like another 2 miles up. It's called Rage Daytona. So I want to put
That's happening this weekend.
Yeah. Oh, you guys want to
Let's
do
go
it?
Rage.
You
Let's
should.
do it.
Well, if you want to do the Rage, there's another one we want to try. There's 2 of them out there. This one has like neon lights. The second one has like neon lights. This guy was like real cool. He gave us time and all that stuff. Like it's 20 minutes. It's $30 for 20 minutes. But
But
he's
you'll
like,
be exhausted after 20 minutes
oh,
of
I was
raging,
exhausted.
for
Yeah,
sure.
I went for 30. I had to get it out. But he was like, yeah, you could stay in there. Make sure you get everything. And he gave us like a little extra monitor and all that stuff.
that'd be cool.
So
That'd be
but
cool.
the second one, there's another one up there that does like neon lights. You can do in the dark. You can do it all.
Doing the dark. Don't
Where
get
the
close
whole
to me,
room is
Staxx.
neon. Yeah, that's the thing. You just gotta like. I had to make sure that she wasn't gonna smash me and stuff. And then it gets like real slippery on the floor because you got so many plates and cups and all that
Right.
stuff. So the glasses, and I had to make sure that the kid don't fall. So it was real nice that they would have they made us go with her because I don't want to. You don't want to be responsible if your child falls on glass and cuts
No.
open her arm. And they were like very clear that you have to bring your child in.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
that. Oh, you all right? That's that. I thought Staxx was having a gripper. Did everybody just see
Oh,
Staxx?
I stepped on your cord.
Oh,
Jesus, you almost tore my head off.
It's part of my rage room.
For you out in podcast land, the Dees just stepped very hard on my cord
He's on my
and
cord.
almost ripped my head off.
yeah, he's on my court too.
I was
Look.
I was practicing.
Dude.
Dude, I'm covered in cords.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm covered.
I feel like Medusa.
Well, that's our weeks, and that was a week. So we start out with Staxx over here staring at me right as we found some really illicit things going on a porch that we all remember, right?
We
all remember that.
we do.
And then she's like, "Well,
did.
fuck her now. I'm involved, and we're taking over. I'm afraid one day I'm gonna come up here and there's gonna be a seat for me, right?"
I don't even.
then- yeah, you were waxed, and then.
Well, we were playing that game F the dealer, and Staxx was
I lost
definitely the dealer.
when I was the dealer.
Staxx was losing left and right.
Yeah, you want to talk about somebody who was like the cup thing?
Yeah,
That was pretty embarrassing.
I mean, your luck was not good that night.
No.
She was terrible.
All I remember is saying, I need to go home.
I remember Cece she had the hiccups, and she goes, I got the hiccups. And I go, you had the hiccups? She goes, no, I got the hic downs. I go, those are the worst.
I still think that one of the funniest moments at that table was when Staxx and I are fighting about how I'm not funny, right?
I didn't say you weren't
No,
funny.
she said, you did this is exactly
I
what
said
you
you couldn't do this yourself because
Right,
who are
you
you
said-
talking to?
No, you said, "Who the fuck you think you're funny? You think you're the funniest?" And I was like, "Whoa!" I said, "Well,
First
I'm
of
on
all,
the podcast."
I
But the
don't
funniest-
come in hot like that.
Oh, you
but
are so, you always come in hot to me. Who
I
the
do
fuck?
not. Well,
you act like
I
you
do
don't come.
not.
Shit, you're fucking high as shit.
All our
right?
listeners know that I am certainly not aggressive in any way, shape, or
Yeah,
form.
they do know you're not aggressive.
Yeah, she's not
But
aggressive.
then the funniest thing to me was at that moment, like Staxx and I having a moment, right?
So we
and
were.
you turn to Cece and say, "Am I funny?" That's exactly. I don't know if you remember that.
By the way, I was shithoused.
No, all I
yeah.
remember is every time you said any S's, my whole face got sprayed.
Oh yeah, there was a lot.
So then I was trying to make my S's really wet right back at you.
You
There's
were
a
trying
lot
to
of
make the Matrix. You were trying to. You kept, but you're like the worst. Kept getting hit by him.
There was
yeah.
a lot. There was
That
a
was
lot
crazy.
going on.
It was fun.
We had
It was
that. We had that one woman who came in and just unloaded her whole life story. We had that chick that was
Yeah.
brand new to that
Oh
thing.
yeah, yeah.
And
We
she was
really
real
do
nice.
have a good neighborhood, though.
We
do.
do.
It's
a good little group.
Yeah,
We have
they
a
are,
good group.
and they're good. And
Neighborhood's a little shaky.
but now how? What'd you say?
So we have a good group. Our neighborhood's a little shaky.
Our neighborhood is far from shaky.
Yeah, it is. You think everything's shaky. You're just you have this really weird imagination.
A lot of people.
You think things, you see
You're
things,
out
you
of
hear
your
things.
mind.
You really are out of your mind.
It's you.
How, it might be me. How? I just want to know, how are you going to feel? Am I knocking on your door before we go to Amy's door this week?
Yes.
I am?
We can be a part of it. She can actually, she has my phone number.
No, we're not.
Clearly,
a part
she
of it.
doesn't want to talk to you.
Just cut the tree down.
I don't care. We want the tree gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to talk to me. Cut. There's
But
more
the
trees back
problem
there.
is,
That's the problem. It's on your property.
we'll discuss all the problems with this off air. But
Okay.
No, we
We,
won't.
no, we don't take anything off air.
no, I'm just saying
Cut it all.
logistically,
Cut it all.
But you're going to
hole in the fence, dogs, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, then
And also that covers us staring directly into her pole screen.
I don't stare directly into her house.
how could you stare into that pool? You don't sit out there.
Yeah.
You could, from where we sit,
we
you
don't-
can see
we
directly
don't-
into her
yeah,
pole.
We don't look there.
Well,
I do from where
Is
I
that
sit.
what you're doing when I walk out? You're just staring at
Oh my god!
well, she's probably staring to make sure the dog is still coming out from under the bush.
Yeah.
Oh, she's great.
Because the bush is always.
But that's where they like to. It's all shady. It's all anyway. Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
another fantastic episode. See, so, I don't know. Were you part of? Because that's how usually we end it, right? And were you
I
part
messed
of?
it up last week.
Yeah, I know. But were you part of him crying about that he didn't get?
Yeah,
to say
you guys
goodbye?
let me say goodbye.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember where we
All
were.
right,
but
we're gonna change it up before I do our out. What do you got? What do you got?
Don't forget to leave us a review and grab a brew. Beer me.
No, you can't use your taglines from your
I
other
know.
shows. Oh no, absolutely not. And with that, AC
Cheers.
out.
This complete nonsense podcast is brought to you today and every day by AAO Optical and WDEC, Anglo-American Optical and What Do I Care Optical, 100-year-old manufacturers of high-end English eyewear, produced in the UK, distributed everywhere. Check us out for your eyewear needs. Anglo-American Optical, Ltd.com. If you can dream it, we can make it. 800-753-9727. Give them a call today. Also, Blue Savage Tea, BLUSAVAGET. It's an up-and-coming apparel company that specializes in custom designs of high-quality clothing and apparel. And if you can design it, you can imagine it, they can make it. Check out their Etsy shop, Blue Savage Tea. Again, that's BLUSAVAGET, all one word, on Etsy for great designs. Order today. Give them a call at 708-424-6119. We'd also like to thank our partners, Authentic Creations, who help produce, edit, and market this nonsense podcast. Check them out at AuthenticCreation.org. And we will not forget, last but not least, our partner of Workspace Collective in Daytona for allowing us to record in their luxurious space studio, dedicated desk, conference space, virtual office solutions, and casual meeting areas. The experienced team at Workspace Collective is here to ensure your business thrives. Give them a call at 877-490-0040.